Hey everybody, Lars here, and I'm back with a whole new set for you guys, showing the strategy and giving you a little play-by-play action. Now, we're down to the very last week of Great League, and it's kind of weird. Normally they roll out or finish the season with, the Great, Ultra, and Master, but this is it. Still a month to go in the season, but this is the last week of Great League, so let's make it a great one, all right? Had a bunch of new questions, which is great. On how to deal with certain things. I think the one that was brought up the most was actually Deoxys and Azumarill. But try to get an Azumarill video. It's not showing, but usually with Azumarill, how I deal with it changes. And I used to just leave Bastiodon in to fight Azumarill. Lately, I've been switching immediately to Medicham. I think I talked about this in a previous video, just to either A, have them leave Azumarill in, or B, lure out a ghost, so lure out Sableye. So that way I can get Sableye down to like the red in HP, and I can bring Bastiodon back in and finish it off, that sort of thing. So yeah, please make sure to like and subscribe. As always, thank you so much for letting me know the teams that you guys are seeing, because they are different. And, I'm trying to post what I saw, but I'll keep on bringing that content at least for the next coming week. And then after that, I will focus mainly on my big counting video to teach you guys who don't know how to count, and how to do it properly. So, yeah. Okay, so we're going to start off, and you'll see our Bastiodon versus a Lickitung. Now, as I mentioned before, there's two different ways this can go. They will either shield the very last charge move that I throw, or they will let me kill them. Either way, if they do shield, go ahead and switch to Medicham. And as you can see, they're hitting us with their charge move. We're not going to shield. We're going to save our shields for later. So depending on this charged move, we're either going to switch or we're going to stay. Let their second charged move hit us again. No problem. All right, as you can see, they did shield, so we're switching immediately to Medicham, and they're bringing out Azumarill. Now, we're going to go ahead, and normally I use Power Up Punch, Psychic. Decided to use a Psychic, got that defense fall, which is great news. I got really lucky here. Just need to throw one more Psychic now. Here comes the second Psychic. Then we're just going to punch like crazy. They get that charge move off. I wasn't expecting it. My count was actually a little bit off. However, it didn't make a whole lot of difference. Bastiodon comes back in to finish it off. And then here comes Lickitung. I quick switch to Victory Bell. They use Power Whip. I shield it. And they bring in Altaria. Now we're both down to one shield. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to shield this attack. And it probably really confused my opponent, but I went ahead and I got that sludge or that poison move off at the very last moment, which is great news because it really lowers, as you can see, its attack, and it makes it to where the battle is all but over. And that is that. On to the next battle. Now for this one, we see a Deoxys, and as you know, switch to Victory Bell. This person actually fought it in the traditional way, which is they're going to use 3 Psycho Boosts, which is actually great news for us. We're going to lose both of our shields super early. They're going to lose 1 shield, but in the end, it's going to turn out in our favor. So they shield. We are going to use another shield. Now we're down to 0 shields, and this person's probably thinking they're in a good spot. But this will not kill us. It cannot kill us. They are too weakened. Even if we don't get that attack break, it's not going to kill us. So now we can bring in Medicham and just farm down the Vigoroth. We don't have to worry about, well, we don't have any shields, but even if we did have shields, we wouldn't be using them. Use a Power Up Punch and then just kill the rest with your fast. Body Slam, it will get one more Body Slam off. Here's the second one. All right, and here comes Obstagoon. Now, I used this power-up punch just to rid it of its last shield because I knew they were going to shield. Now, they're in that yellow range. They're down low enough to where they can't really come back from that. Luckily, Bastiodon is super tanky, and at this point, I could just kill it with my fast, and no worries. Hit me, and yeah, I think I use a Stone Edge, but they were low enough to where I think we would be all right, even if we had to kill it with our fast. And that's that. All right, this one was actually one where we had a good lead. They did switch to Vigoroth because I wanted to really, really, really ingrain it in your minds that whenever you see Vigoroth and it's Medicham versus Vigoroth, do not shield. Use one power-up punch and kill it with your fast. They'll get 2 body slams off, but again, save those shields. So when you see Vigoroth, never, ever, 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 ever shield. Skarmory's coming back out. It's going to go ahead. I'm going to use Psychic here. Even if you don't get it charged off, no big deal. Bastiodon's coming back in which case they'll switch to Scrafty. Pretty common team here. I'm sure you guys have run into it before. And now it's over. As soon as we saw that Scrafty, it was over because we have our 2 shields. And no matter what they can do, they cannot kill us. And that's that. All right, another Lickitung, big surprise. You're going to see so many Lickitung if you haven't already, just because the higher up you get, the more Lickitung leads there are. And a lot of people use Lickitung as a safe switch, but it seems the higher you go, you'll see it more as a lead Pokemon. So, same thing as before. Going to use that Stone Edge. Boom. They're going to get another Power Whip off here in 2 seconds. Same thing, don't shield. There's the Power Whip. We're going to get our Stone Edge off. This person does not shield, so we do not need to switch to Medicham. All right, they're throwing in Medicham, so we're bringing in Medicham of our own. And as soon as that Lickitung died, they fall for the bait and they switch to Alolan Vulpix. Now, had our Medicham not killed that Alolan Vulpix, we would have just finished it off with Bastiodon, run out the clock, and get it to the point where we can just bring in Victory Bell and kill Medicham. Because again, we have 2 shields left, and with 2 shields, it cannot hurt us. There is nothing it can do. It cannot get that 3rd Ice Punch off. Even if it had Power-Up Punch, it couldn't even get the 3rd Power-Up Punch off. That's how easy it is for us to deal when we have 2 shields. So, Empoleon, switch to Victory Bell. They are switching to their Mandibuzz. Now, went ahead and I'm not playing the minigame. I'm not tapping the bubbles because I don't want to do very much damage against this Mandibuzz. They're going to hit me with a attack, but I did break theirs, and so Aerial Ace doesn't do too much damage. Get just enough to get a Sludge Bomb off. They obviously are not expecting it. Went ahead, they didn't shield it. Ninetales, and then as you can guess, the battle is now over. Next battle, they switched from Crawford Regis to Bunnelby, so we switched to Medicham. The reason why, whenever they switch to a Bunnelby, you want to use a Power-Up Punch and a Psychic. Do not shield their Earthquake. If you use a Power-Up Punch and a Psychic, you will kill that Bunnelby before they can kill you. They won't get that 2nd attack off. There's the Psychic, unless of course they shield. If they shield, then go ahead and shield their attack, but chances are they're not going to. We're going to go ahead and we're going to charge that up. We didn't get I was going for the Psychic, but it didn't happen. Shadow Ball, no worries. They're bringing in Medicham, so we are bringing in our Victory Bell. Same thing as before. We have 2 shields left. Go ahead, shield that attack. No worries. Go ahead, shield this attack. I'm saving that charged energy for our friend in the front. And the reason why is because I want that attack break. I need it. Cofagrigus comes in, and we use, of course, our Leaf Tornado. They shield, didn't get the attack break, but we get another one off. Second try. All right, and the second one is we got lucky. It's over, and they realize it. All right, so we have a Shadow Venusaur. I've actually seen quite a few of these lately. Along with Lickitung and Deoxys, it seems to be a favorite in the lead. They're going to go ahead and they're going to use a Frenzy Plant, take the damage. They immediately switch. We didn't fall for it, and we switched to Medicham. They wanted us to try and use our charge move, obviously. So we saved that energy, banked it, and Medicham. Same thing as always, just get that power-up punch off and do not worry about using a shield or anything. Just kill it with your fast. And use power-up punch whenever it becomes available. They're stalling the clock just a little bit, waiting for that timer to run down. They bring in Frostlass. Now we're going to use a Psychic. We were trying to use a Psychic. Go ahead and we're going to let this Avalanche kill our Medicham. So Victory Bell comes in, they bring in Venusaur, so we switch to our friend Bastiodon and going to use that charge energy we banked at the start of the battle. They shield. We're shielding their Frenzy Plant. Farm them on down. Going to shield their second Frenzy Plant. And now we can safely farm it down and use our charged. Of course, they use their last shield, which is extremely common in this situation. But they can't get that Shadow Ball off before we get our second Stone Edge off. And it is over, folks.